Oh, Tashi Dele, hello everyone. I hope everyone is doing good. And welcome back to the Lojong session. So, uh, as usual, we do some group practice or recitations of some of beneficial, powerful mantras. We do that on the basis of proper refuge in Buddha Dharma Sangha and setting correct motivations of bodhicitta. Okay. Yeah, we dedicate this to the entire world, entire sentient beings for their well-beings, and specifically to overcome the adversities that occurring time to time, like natural disasters, pandemic, and even in case any individuals uh, in the family, in the circle of friends, if anyone who's going through health difficulties, then we dedicate this practice to overcome them and also dedicate for the fulfillment of all our Guru's wishes, like His Holiness Dalai Lama, Lama Serlingpa, all your spiritual wishes to be fulfilled accordingly, what you aspire. Sangye Jodan Zoye Jonala, Janju Bado Dane Jazonje, Daji Jinzoje Bezonamje, Dola Benje Zanje Drumarajo, Sangye Jodan Zoye Jonala, Janju Bado Dane Jazonje, Daji Jinzoje Bezonam, Dola Benje Zanje Drumarajo, Sangye Jodan Zoye Jonala, Janju Bado Dane Jazonje. Daje jinzo jebe zonamje, dola benje zanje drubarai jo, zanje chedan zoje jonala, janju bado dane jazonje, daje jinzo jebe zonamje, dola benje zanje drubarai jo. Kange doze ne zone, dawa damje bambe jere, dambe jene dunze ba, godam de la cha se lo, tongyi ninje sondo jube lam, se je kanje ten de chana pe mo ten zin ja zola. So wa debzo da ju chinje lo, simje tamje dewa dan, dewe ju dan dembra ju je, simje tamje dungen dan, dungen je ju dan dawa ju je, simje tamje dungen mebe dewa dan mi dawa ju. Semje damje nire jada nidan dawe tanyola nebra juroje, semje damje dewa dan dewe judan dembra juje, semje damje dungen dan dungen je judan dabra juje. Semje damje dunga mebe dewa dan mi dawa juje, semje damje nire jada nidan dawe tanyola nebra juroje, semje damje dewa dan dewe judan dembra juje, semje damje dungen dan dungen je judan dawa juje. Semje damje dunga mebe dewa dami dawa jeje semje damje nire jada nidan dawe tanyo la ne barai gyuru je. Tabje doje jaje re doje jenje mendo doje bonjon ba seje lombo dabo zebengu jaje jabo dela janze lo daya ta o muni muni ma muni yezo daya ta o muni muni ma muni yezo daya dao 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 muni muni ma muni yezo Tayata omo gade para samgade buddhi yezo. 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 Dayada omo gade gade para sam gade buddhi yezo. Dayada omo gade para sam gade buddhi yezo. Dayada omo gade para sam gade buddhi yezo. Omo ahun benzar guru be mazide. 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 Mime zewe terje jere ze, teme jembe ombo jambe yang, debo mali jonze zanwe da, ganjin jembe zujin zonga ba, lozan tabi shabla zowan. Mime zewe terje jere ze, teme jembe ombo jambe yang, debo mali jonze zanwe da, ganjin jembe zujin zonga ba, lozan tabi shabla zowan. Mime zewe terje jere ze, teme jembe ombo jambe yang, debo mali jonze zanwe da, ganjin jembe zujin zonga ba, lozan tabi shabla zowan. Mime zewe terje jere ze, teme jembe ombo jambe yang, debo mali jonze zanwe da, ganjin jembe zujin zonga ba, lozan tabi shabla zowan. Mime zewe terje jere ze, teme jembe ombo jambe yang, debo mali jonze zanwe da, ganjin jembe zujin zonga ba, lozan tabi shabla zowan. Om mani beme hum, 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 mani beme mani beme hum, 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 mani beme Om mani beme hum, mani beme hum, mani beme hum, mani beme hum, mani beme Om mani beme hum, 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 mani beme Omo dare dure zo, 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 omo dare dure zo. Omo dare dure zo, omo dare dure zo, omo dare dure zo, omo dare dure zo. Omo dare dure zo, omo dare dure zo, omo dare dure zo, omo dare dure zo. Omo dare dure zo, omo dare dure zo, omo dare dure zo, omo dare dure zo, omo dare dure zo. Omo dare dure zo, omo dare dure zo, omo dare dure zo. Tayada omo be ganze ma be ganze ranza samu gade so. Tayada om be ganze ma be ganze ranza samu gade so. Tayada omo be ganze ma be ganze ranza samu gade so. Tayada omo be ganze Ma be ganze ranza samu gade zo daya da omo be ganze ma be ganze ranza samu gade zo daya da omo be ganze ma be ganze ranza samu gade zo daya da omo be ganze ma be ganze ranza samu gade zo Om Mare Zemazo, 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 Om Mare Zemazo. Daje Jawa Tamje Dan, Kebra Yela Sambe Dun, Deni Game Zejun Ru, Druba Lami Jiji. Jaja Jungme Jeze Du, Duju Meju Yazazo, Semde Semele Jume Jibagule, Nudo Jabdozo, Ajawa De, Nudo Dan, was a Jema Dujune, Doaji Jamale, De Zala Gubarai, Jo, Pama Semje Tamje, Dendan De Yurje, and Do Tamje Dadu Tunga, Janju Zembagan Zujo. Teta Gwenje Molan Dojuji, Zemje Neba Jinye Ba, Nudu Nele Tajuji, Tovene Maluba, Dado Jungwa Me Barai. Jambe Bawe Jedra Jemba Dan, Gundo Zambo Denya De Jinje, Teta Gwenje Jezo Daloji, Jawa Teta Tamje Rabdo Ngo, Dezonje Be Jawa Tamje. Ngo Gala Jodo Ngo Bade, Daje Jewe Zawa De Gunjan, Zambo Jeje Rabdo Ngo Warai. Bedanzo wa mi gebe yi shen no bo ba zam ji zem je re wa gun ze samba che shin de be da yi. Okay, thank you. Oh yeah, so we are going to study the living out all conceptions attribute to Selingpa. So if you are using same volume of text, then you are on page 195. Yeah. So in this short teaching, there are a few very important points. It's very much like essence, the capture into a very few words, few wordings, very much like putting into a number so that easy to remember of all the mind training teachings or the mind training methods, to purify ourselves and to actualize all the benefit of enlightenment. Yeah, so yeah, so in fact, we are very fortunate that last few sessions and this session to able to expose to Selingpa's teaching, even though that Selingpa, Lama Serlingpa play a very important role uh, for the preservation of the Lojong treatise, including Lamrim. Specifically the the pit instructions in relation to development of altruism, very much responsible for Selingpa, but commonly, quite commonly, not as frequent as that we get opportunity to study, Selingpa's texts. We do study many Lojong teachings, but we somehow tends to miss out Selingpa's own direct words. So therefore, I think very very fortunate. The Selingpa during the period of when Atisha was alive, when Maitri Yogis was alive, when Dhammarashita was alive, during that period, there are so many great Indian pandits exist in India, who also hold, both in learning and realization in the altruistic dharma transmissions. But Lama Atisha, from his biography, we can understand that he specifically, endure such a hardship journey to able to relate to Lama Serlingpa and receive the transmission of bodhicitta, even though that he can easily can obtain those transmissions, transmissions on bodhicitta in India, from those many great Indian pandits. but then he chose to travel all the way to Indonesia during that time where Serlingpa was residing in Indonesia. The 12 months of a very, very dangerous journey. And not only that, after receiving the teaching, he remained um, among the pupil of Serlingpa and directly, tutoring by him. Atisha trained for 12 years in the treatise. And then that blessing, brought into Tibet and came about, all the teaching that we have today, like Lamrim teachings, Lojong teachings, etc. Uh, so, so, um, so, so during that period, Serlingpa is regarded the most, complete preservation of the complete lineage of the entire, bodhicitta practice. Mhm. Uh, in India, there may be some master there who have a certain lineage but don't have a certain kind of other lineage. Certain masters, they may have a lineage, but then again, the the preservation in practices realization may not be as intense as seriousness as up to the Serlingpa. So therefore, during that time, Serlingpa is like a crown jewel, crown jewel of the preserver of the Mahayanic Dharma during that period. So that's the main reason that Atisha, try to get the best out of the best lineage holder. So that's the reason that he he went to receive the transmission from Serlingpa. Yeah. So so therefore, I feel very, very fortunate, for us to go through this treatise. So as far as concerned with the commentaries, there are some Lojong teachings, receive explanation commentaries. Some, not really receive explanation commentaries. For us, very much myself, very much, and also many others that who may have the lineage of the Lojong teachings is more of the oral transmission. You see, so so very much our guru, just read the direct words, the treatise to the treatise. So very much like that. So therefore, some of the teachings, very difficult to find the commentary references. Some they're almost like there's no commentaries available, like that. Mhm. So as for this teaching, there is a commentary also contained within this volume, so which we'll do, after when we complete this particular text. And here, so even though I'm going to read the commentary, I think very much done by Atisha. We're going to read that, but today here directly focus on the root text and try to try to how to say try to do my best explanation as possible, briefly at least. So it says like that. Herein is contained a teaching conferred by Serlingpa on Atisha to help him subdue the barbarian borderland. So this teaching was very much, conferred to Atisha. Serlingpa, omnisciently knowing that Atisha going to be the great teacher among the humans. He going to travel far and wide, and going to subdue, many worldly beings, many people that who are completely trapped in negativities and delusions. It's very much like many of us, like myself. Uh, so, so in order to be most courageous teacher, not just having the knowledge in the lineage, but you need to have the capability of skillfulness, and as well as the forbearances, um, um, to endure the difficulty and hardship to introduce dharma, especially to the beginners, who are very much like so-called as a um, live in the barbarian borderland. So here the barbarian borderland can be understood, uh, the geographical aspect of barbarian borderland, very much, how we learn from the um, when we talk about the eight freedoms and 10 endowments. One of them is freeing from being born in a barbaric land. So barbaric land is very much where there is no opportunity for dharma, where there's no access for dharma. There's no sign of dharma. There's no opportunity to practice dharma. So that is the outer aspect of barbaric borderland. So then inner aspect of the barbaric borderland is someone whose thinking, whose heart is completely enveloped, completely under the control of worldly concern, completely enveloped in delusion, completely live a life in pursuit of negativities, or completely, live a life pursue of, the outwardly concerns. So those are can regard as a barbaric borderland. So Selingpa, emphasized the following teaching that he's going to confer to Atisha, that if you equip with this forbearances or the armor of these teachings within your system, then you know, even that you need to, um, uh, need to remain in the lowest hell realm to bring benefit to the most, um, degenerated beings, and you will able to forbear to deliver and liberate the sentient beings, like that. Then he says, the guardian and the teacher Selingpa said to Master Atisha, son, to subdue the barbarian borderland, you will need the following teachings. Uh, so in the Atisha's commentary, uh, so again in the commentary, which we're going to discuss later, whether this exact word is said by Selingpa, or it is compiled by uh, the Shunu, um, you know yeah the Shinu Gyalchok and Shunu Gyalchok and Goncho Gyalzen. Either it is um, write down as a clarification, as a note, or we don't know yet. Anyway, the meaning here is, Lord Selingpa, the embodiment of wisdom and great compassion, once said to Atisha, my son, in order to serve others during this era of degeneration, you must distill the secret words of the discourses, scriptures, and reasonings, and all the pit instructions of the teachers, and undertake their practice in one sitting. For this, you will require the following teaching, which makes you invulnerable to sickness, harm, interferences from obstructive forces, demons, and upholder of the false teachings, and such adverse conditions and impediment. Then, for that reason, then Serlingpa taught the following teaching. So what is the following teaching? The verse 1, it says, level out all false conception. So that's one. Carry forth the force of all antidotes. Concentrate all aspirations into one, and seek the path where all path coverage. So meaning, the one of the most important thing to meditate or be aware, be mindful is level out all the conceptions. Stay away from conceptual hallucinations. Conceptual views, conceptual mistaken views, or conceptual distractions. So it's loosely to understand this, meaning that for us not to caught up with the attachment to sensual desire, caught up with the grasping of aversion to the adversities, then not to leave our awareness in the ignorance, in the grasping of such as inherent grasping, such as here, especially such as dualistic, dualistic graspings. So you see, why I'm saying here the dualistic grasping as a false conception, and I would not use the word the inherent grasping, because from the philosophical point of view, Lama Serlingpa hold the Chitta-Martin philosophical view. So Chitta-Martin philosophical false view is dualistic apprehension or dualistic false conception. Like that. But as far as concerned with the Atisha, he hold the Pasankika's view. But in any way, the teaching is taught by Serlingpa. So here the explanation, goes to the dualistic, false conception. So we have to, meditate, train our mind to be free from the false conceptions of dualistic false conception. And when we are in a post meditation, then try to view, everything as a imputation of your mind. Everything is arising of your mind. There's nothing exists from the object side. So this is how that you would interpret based on the Chitta-Martin view. Or in short, understand also always meditate on emptiness. Interpret things and even in emptiness. So that's one of the most important teaching. Then carry forth the force of all antidotes. So always equipped with the the antidote to any form of delusions. Such as the common general antidote of the correct, holding of the correct view of emptiness. Always in the mindful of emptiness, meaning, as mentioned before, always live in the idea of understanding of interpretation of emptiness to the thoughts and to the things and events. Then specific delusions has a specific antidote, such as when for the in the journey of practicing dharma, in the journey of benefiting sentient being, the laziness comes in our way, then the antidote of aspiration, the antidote of a joyous effort, like that. An example. When anger arises, then the application, rightly application of antidote of patience, etc. So meaning always, upfront carry the antidote to different negations and different faults and to delusions. So that's another important thing. Then the third one is concentrate all aspirations into one. So, of course, we have so many different aspirations, so many different aspirations to free from silent existence, aspirations to free from lower realms, aspirations to, actualize Hira's path, solitary realizer path, and Buddhahood. So here, not to have so many kind of, aspirations, all aspiration put into one. So that aspiration is aspiration to actualize state of full enlightenment for the benefit of numberless sentient beings. So always carry one single, uh, one single aspiration that contain all the other virtuous aspiration. That is the bodhicitta aspiration. Then the fourth one, seek the path where all the paths coverage. So when we follow the path, then again there are so many paths. The general virtues path, like such as 10 virtues, observation 10 virtues, and there are so many precepts. Individual liberation precepts, Bodhisattva precept, tantric precept, etc., etc. And there's a path to Hira's path, solitary realizer path, and Mayani path, etc. So here. One should focus to travel on the path that cover entire other path. So that is the path of Bodhisattva, path of Bodhisattva, entering into the 5 paths of Bodhisattva, starting from very beginning, developing unconditional love, great compassion, then actualizing, bodhicitta, then progressing from ordinary bodhisattva path to the Arya Bodhisattva's path, then completing the 10 bhumis, and they actualize enlightenment. So in short, not to follow this path, that path, follow that one path, that which contain entire path. So it's a very decisive, straightforward, numbered. It's almost like it's no way can go away from our remembering. You see. So there's 4 things. So verse 2 it says, these are the 4 enlightened factor. So these are the 4 enlightened factor. The earlier 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 that cover in the verse 1. So these are the 4 enlightened factors. The antidotes. They are these are the 4 enlightened factor, the antidotes. You see, so they are the conducive condition to travel to enlightenment, and they are the antidote to overcome the obscuration to omniscience. So they are vital if you are to tame barbarian borderland. So if you are working for the benefit of sentient being, like Lama Atisha, he's going to work for the benefit of sentient being through the generosity of dharma, then they are the vital if you are tame the barbarian borderland. So these are very important. Then they are essential too in the age of degeneration. So during the difficult time that we are going through, which is the 5 degenerated age, 5 degenerated 5 degenerated age, the degeneration of lifespan, degeneration of delusion, degeneration of person, degeneration of time, and degeneration of view. During this period, when you equip with this 4 dharma, it will be so essential and it will be so beneficial to overcome these 5 degenerations and able to extract the full meaning of the altruistic dharma, and bring even possibility of actualizing enlightenment within this very lifetime. If you equip with these 4 antidotes or 4 factors of enlightenment. To bear with the misguided way of negative companions. So this is also so beneficial because we are so beneficial to stay away from the misguided way of negative companions, outer negative companions, inner negative companions, so outer negative companion, as we discussed many times before, who bring obstacle, your learning of Dharma, your contemplation of Dharma, your meditation on Dharma, your progress in Dharma practice. Inner, negative companions are our delusions, our laziness, our sensual distractions, all these are the negative companion. So when you're equipped with these four Dharma, or the four enlightened factors, then we will be never affected by the misguided way of negative companions or like that. Yeah, so it's so wonderful, isn't it? How wonderful that if we try to guide our day-to-day, our spiritual journey with this four Dharma in keeping in our heart. Yeah. So if you just pause and think broadly, within this four enlightened factor, entire Lamrim capture here. Entire 5 treatises of philosophy purpose capture here. Whatever you study in all throughout the Geshe, all capture in these four factors. And all the Lojong studies that we have done, for almost 1-2 years, you can summarize everything into it. Then the verse 3. So verse 3 is very much the essence of the verse 3 is practice of Tonglen, again, which is the essence practice of bodhicitta or the Lojong. So it says, adverse conditions are your spiritual teacher. So we should always regard all the adversities, including the adverse condition, like such as these contaminated aggregates, such as the samsaric world, such as the samsaric other people, or the samsaric inconvenience, everything, we should regard them as your spiritual teacher, meaning everything teach you to awaken your mind. Every suffering, every adversity, every samsara teach you to renounce how bad the samsara is, how filthy the samsara is. You see? So when you don't realize the filthiness of samsara, we won't able to renounce, isn't it? If we are unable to gain renunciation towards samsara, we cannot achieve the path, isn't it? The definition of entering into the path, genuine path or not, is defined by whether you actualize mind of renunciation or not, isn't it? So therefore, it is so true. All the adverse conditions are your spiritual teacher. It's so wonderful, So, so you see, in our day-to-day, we carry this mindfulness. Then almost every obstacle comes in our way, like such as sickness, such as aging, including death, everything. Even in the earthquake, entire home collapse. It doesn't hurt you. You see, even though yes, it is a destructive, it is inconvenient, but you learn the lesson, which is so valuable lesson of renunciation. See the essence, like meaningless in samsaric existence. You start to really learn to realize that the permanent grasping to the house, to the body, to the things, is in fact it's a false conception. You really that impermanent really make you to really awaken, from the ignorance of permanent grasping. You see, so wonderful. So if we're able to carry this, idea or the knowledge, then we really, nothing can harm us, isn't it? Then demons and possessor spirits. The Buddha's emanation is another very important mindfulness in Lojong practice, in Bodhisattva practice. Regarding, so-called as a demons. It could be inner demons, it could be outer demons. Then the spirit, your negative spirit within, controlling your mind, or including the outer spirit, others' spirit that has a certain energy to enter into you and bring, trouble into you. all these things you should regard as these are the Buddha's emanation, Buddha's emanation to really to, tame us, really to test us, really to test how secure we are in our precepts. So you see, so when we are secure, when we are protected well in our precepts, no inner spirit can harm us, no outer spirit can harm us, no spirit can enter into us. You see, even observation of pure refuge precept, no spirit, harmful spirit can enter you. You see, you see. So no question about if you hold strong Bodhisattva precepts. You see, strong Sangha precepts, Sangha vows. No spirit can enter us. You see, and if you live in the vow and the precept purely with a complete refuge in Buddha Dharma, completely following the instruction of Buddha Dharma, then even there's no room for inner spirit to arise. Like, there's no room for the delusion to arise, isn't it? So therefore, truly the demons and possessor spirits one should regard as a Buddha's emanation, Buddha's emanation. Then sickness is a broom for negative karma and defilements. You see, so whatever sicknesses that we experience, it has to be the result of definite karma of the past. You see, so in Buddhist karmic law, cause and effect, in understanding of karma, sicknesses are the result of ourselves causing harm to other sentient beings in the past lifetimes. Then, even within this lifetime, in order those past lifetimes karma to be fully ripened, then we need to condition by causing harm to our iman, by causing harm to our body, by eating wrong things, by breathing wrong air, by drinking, wrong substance. You see, so it's so true. You see, if you drink alcohol, it's harmful. You drink too much of sugar, soft drink is harmful, isn't it? You eat too much fat and too much meat and the raw junk foods. It's harmful, isn't it? Is it harmful, isn't it? So by causing harm to the immune, our immune bacteria and our immune cells in our body, by not being mindful what you eat and drink, will complete the past lifetimes karma that one have caused harm to other sentient being, comes into a ripening of this very lifetime, in this life, a health issue like sicknesses. You see, so like that. So therefore, since sicknesses are the result of past definite karma, only will purify the karma by experiencing the sickness. So therefore, instead of, whenever we go through sickness, instead of feeling depressed, rather in the Dharma way, then Lojong way, to think, wow, so fortunate, the negative karma that I harm others and negativities that I consume in this very lifetime, now is completely going to exhaust, through the sickness that I'm experiencing. So therefore, in future, I don't have to experience anymore, So, so it's very much, whenever sickness comes in our way, regard as a purification of past negative karma. And so that we don't have to experience that again in the future time. More than that, as far as concerned, the karma has a capability to increase. So if you don't purify faster, the karma will multiply until that one may need to experience, unbearable sufferings, like in the three lower realms, in particularly in hell realms. So by experiencing bearable sickness in this life, where we have conducive condition to get treatments, get care, like hospitals and medicines and doctors, facilities, that we can able to minimize the impact of the sickness, and at the same time we are able to purify the karma for us to be experienced in the lower realm. So instead of feel depressed, rather feel relief, So when we approach, whenever we experience sicknesses like that, like this thinking, that sickness is a broom of negative karma and defilements, then your heart get uplifted. This is how wonderful to think, isn't it? How wonderful it is, how wonderful to have this in our heart. It can be so useful, throughout our life, because we carry these contaminated samsaric aggregates. Sickness is a part of our life, isn't it? And whenever sickness comes in our way, it really depresses us, isn't it? So from now on, we really take this Serlingpa's teaching as an antidote in our mindfulness to overcome, to our suffering in relation to sicknesses. Then sufferings are display of ultimate realities expense. You see, so ultimate realities expand here. There are many ways of understanding, but in particularly here, in relation to suffering, so ultimate realities expand refer to the first true noble truth, the truth of cause of suffering and truth of suffering. So sufferings are display of the ultimate reality of the truth of causes of suffering. Truth of the causes of suffering, such as delusion and karma. You see, so sometimes when we get sickness, we get confused. Why I have to go through this suffering? Why I get this sickness? Why? How can I don't deserve it? What is the cause? I live a life, so purely, but why I need to suffer this kind of sicknesses? And sometimes we get confused and disturb our mind, isn't it? Just a few days ago, I had a phone consultation with one friend. They don't really study dharma. They pray, but they hardly study detailed dharma. I'm sure they don't listen my teaching, but they always ask question. When problem and ask question, what's the solution? So suddenly got some sign of a sickness and get completely confused. Why Geshela? Why I get this sickness? I did charity. I smile. I try to be kind, and I eat all the healthy drinks and healthy foods. But they say why I suffer. Why I get this sickness. And because of too many why, until cannot sleep, until cannot rest. Then the situation get even worse. The sickness get even worse. It's a physical sickness, but now even bring up a mental sickness because of don't know the answer. So don't know the answer. You see. So now here the answer is sufferings are display of ultimate realities expenses. So sufferings are the result of or the expenses of the truth of cause. The delusion and our negative karma of the past, you see. So now, instead of get confused, the answer now. Past defilements, delusion and karma, you need to get into the practice of purification. Then condition-wise, you need to see doctor. You need to take medicine. Let the doctor to handle the external factors. Then internally, you need to purify the root cause, which is the delusion and karma, through engaging in the practice of virtue, like such as Vajrasattva practice, medicine Buddha practice, etc., etc. So like that is. So the moment you start to engage into the antidotes, you get uplifted. You start to feel hopeful of overcoming these sicknesses, isn't it? So anyway, so these are the four thoroughly afflicted factors. Four thoroughly afflicted factors. They are vital if you are to tame the barbarian borderland. They are essential too in the era of degeneration to bear with the misguided way of negative companion. So these are the four thoroughly afflicted factors. Yeah. So. Yeah, such as adverse conditions, the harmful or demon and possessing spirits, sicknesses, sufferings, ultimate display. So all these are the the result of the thoroughly afflicted factors, the result of the first noble truth, the truth of the origin, the delusion and karma. Then the verse 5, it says, this training is the great counterpoint to happiness. This is the, this training is the great counterpoint to happiness. Or this training here refer to the mind training, the Lojong teaching, mind training, or whatever training that we have discussed before, just now, or all the Lojong teaching that we have discussed in the past. It's a great counterpoint to happiness. So then the second one, this is the great successor to misery. Again, this referring to the Lojong practice. Then the third, this is the charm that attract misfortunes. And this is capping of wishes that are lesser useful. So you see, when you practice, genuine Lojong practice, when you are completely armor your system, your mind with the Lojong teaching, or in another way, if you are completely, your heart is completely, how to say, trained in altruism, like bodhicitta and emptiness, then for that practitioner, any negative forces comes in your way, it's like a fortune. It's like a fortune. It's like so beneficial. You see, the benefit, as mentioned before, it helps to purify the karma. It helps to develop yourself, etc., etc. Then on top of that, the genuine Lojong practitioners, they in fact ask for problem. They really pray hard, and they practice hard to shower by adversities, to really to bring effectiveness of purification. In other words, the main essence of purification is purification of this concrete, diamond mountain, like a self-grasping attachment, and self-cherishing attachment, and self-grasping ignorance, isn't it? It's so concrete. It's not easy, not easy to purify them. Gentle way is not so easy to get rid of them. So it's so there's a position that you need to be so drastic to just to get hurt, just to dismantle the position of this false I, the false self-cherishing grasping. Then let all the adversities shower into your life. You see, so because of your training is so advanced, so this can be even understood that someone is already rich, is already enter into Bodhisattva's path. Someone already reach up to at least like part of preparation. The somewhere middle at the part of preparation, where your bodhicitta no way can be degenerated. You come up to that kind of position, then literally, the more you practice, because the purification is becoming swift and effective, and your progress on the path is like dung 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 dung, like the 5 paths, 10 bhumis is like without taking long time. You just travel so fast, because
the purification becomes so effective. All the karmic imprint of the past is ripening right then, right there, like so fast, overwhelmingly. So, it comes into a unbelievable form of, tragedies comes in your way, problems comes in your way. Then Bodhisattva, uh, in his wisdom, he bliss out, outwardly, like he is in the most trouble, outwardly, when someone, ordinary people, seeing that Bodhisattva, uh, it's like you are in the most trouble in the whole universe from all aspect, but the wisdom of that Bodhisattva is completely in the bliss, completely in the bliss. It's very much like the clean, clear, the beautiful lotus in the very filthy mud, exposing the beauty, in the middle of it, like that. You see, so therefore, uh, the great Lojong practitioners. Last time, my late guru, Geshe Lama said that when you practice truly the dharma, especially the Lojong, then you will drop from the human standard to a street dog's standard. You will be treated so bad by common people. You look filthy, you look awful, you have nothing, material wise, you have nothing, you have no home, you have no friends, you have no relatives, everyone abandoned you because you are ragged. You see, you are caveman, you see. Mm. So you will downgrade from the rank of human to the street dog's rank. And when you able to sustain, when you able to pass through, that rank of the dog rank, then the next rank is the rank of the God. Means you will be enlightened, you will be achieve, high realizations, you see. Mm. Uh, so Geshela also shared that when he was sometime after he's coming out from the cave, villagers have when he was passing through narrow lane, the rock houses are side by side, and uh, from the door, because of that, one caveman looked very poor, ragged, coming this way. So people carry, the woolen carpet. So in the village, the woolen carpets are like never dust out. People usually like don't even take off shoes after going to the field and come in, step onto the woolen carpet. So it's like full of dust accumulated for throughout the year. So it's very filthy, isn't it? So you wait for Geshela to pass, and they bang in front of him, just to dust him out. So so Geshela said that, instead of get hurt his heart, he really he went inward rather to check where is his status of practice. You know, can, is he get affected, or is he able to interpret, according with the practice? You see, so so later, anyway, this some of these people become very much like hard disciple to Geshe-la. After many years later, seeing how great practitioner he is. So most of the Kadama masters, have experienced that. We know about Milarepa, we know about most of the Kadama masters. So you see, so so when you really practice seriously, it seems like the worldly wall, the worldly environment start to kind of like scattering, or how to say, it's like shattering. The worldly, the eight worldly, you constructed your life in the very fragile shell of eight worldly concern, is very much like kind of shattering, when you start to practice genuine dharma. Because yeah, it's very much like all the negativities are very much overwhelming on you, but in fact, it's your negative karmas are ripening faster so that you're able to purify faster so that you never have to experience again, so this teaching is very much like that, you see. So as a beginner, but who is really genuinely have faith in Lojong practice and faith in Bodhisattva's conduct, then these are the aspiration that we carry, and when any adversities comes in our way, we shouldn't get disturbed. Rather you should feel like fortune. Rather you should feel like you achieve fortune in your way by the result of practicing Lojong. All the negative karma is ripening so fast, so that I never have to experience the negative consequences in the future lifetime. My future is in higher realms, in a Bodhisattva's realms, so like that. So this is for us to think. So these teachings came about. It also so this teachings also the one of the qualities, one of the 37 qualities of the Bodhisattva's training to the enlightenment, 37 qualities. It called as the 37 auxiliaries, auxiliary lyrist, AUXILIARIES, 37 auxiliaries to enlightenment. It called like that. The another term it called is a power of effort, or power of power of effort. One of the five power, one of the five power. That power, one of the five power, the power is regarded as the immune to hindrances. Power, the power of our mind, which is like the immune system to hindrances. You see, so when you genuinely practice Lojong, you equip with this power of immune to hindrances. So no power can destroy you. Rather, no hindrance can destroy you. Rather, the heavier the hindrance, heavier the hindrances actually help you to, purify karma faster and develop your heart faster. You see, so like that. This is also a practice of forbearances. You see, so usually we talk about the three type of forbearances, three type of patience. So practice, the patience not retaliating against harm givers, not the patience of not retaliating against the harms, the sufferings, and the harm givers, isn't it? Then the second one is the patience of willingly enduring suffering. You see, that in order to perfect the practice of six paramita, we need to perfect the paramita of patience, isn't it? So in order to perfect the paramita of patience, we need to perfect the practice of patience of willingly enduring the suffering. You see, so this particular verse 5 is also a teaching about equipping, developing the importance of the patience of willingly enduring the suffering. Then the third one is the patience of discriminating awareness of dharma. It also emphasizes the practice of the effort, the armor-like effort. There are many different type of effort. There's a 5 type of efforts, 3 type of efforts. The 5 type of effort is like armor-like effort of action, gathering of virtue, effort of free from discouragement. You see, so effort free from discouragement from hindrances. So this can be understood here. Then irresistible effort. Even how harsh, how obstacle they may be, how hindrance comes in your way, that you develop some kind of some kind of effort, joyous effort, that irresistible, you call it irresistible effort. You will never give up the path. Then the fifth one is effort that is never contented. You see, even how hindrance out there may be, whatever obstacle comes in your way when you practice Lojong, you are never contented of gathering or developing, the Bodhisattva's path. The more hindrances comes in your way, the more motivated you become to progress your path in the Bodhisattva's conduct. You see, so like that. So verse 6 is said, these are the four antidotes to misguided way. They are vital if you are to tame the barbarian borderland. They are essential too in the age of degeneration to bear with the misguided way of negative companion. Then verse 7, self is the root of negative karma. It is to be discarded decisively. Others is the source of enlightenment. It is to be embarrassed enthusiastically. So self here referring to the false I, the false me, the false identity. In another word, the self-grasping, ignorant to the self is the root of negative karma. That is the root cause for our body, speech, and mind to engage in negative doings, such like 10 non-virtues. If there's no false belief of I, if there's no false I, our three doors will never engage into negative doings. So therefore, regard the self is the root of negative karma. So therefore, it is to be discarded decisively, means without any hesitation, without any second thought, without any consideration, right where, right then, right here, you make the decision to purify it, eliminate it. So how to go about that? Nothing can destroy, nothing can able to eliminate the self-grasping ignorance except the wisdom of emptiness. So we need to, right away, we need to meditate on emptiness. Then we try to train our mind, even in the post-meditation, try to interpret things and events as illusion alike. So that way, then the false I will be, gradually will be eliminated. You see. So because of there's an I, then there's a mind. Then there comes the grasping of mind. So from there, then all the misdeeds will be actualized, and from there the samsara will be actualized. So therefore, this self has to be eradicated. The others is the source of enlightenment. Others here referring to the cherishing, the self, the cherishing or well-being of other sentient being is the source of enlightenment, source of all the happiness. So therefore, it is to be embraced enthusiastically. You see, you have to embrace enthusiastically in the cultivations, in the practice of concerning the well-being of others. Then that way it works. You just lightly practicing it. You won't able to tame our heart to change from self-cherishing attitude to cherishing the well-being of others. So we need to practice enthusiastically. So there's a 2 point. When it comes to negation, negating the self-grasping ignorance, we need to purify decisively. But when it comes to practicing the bodhicitta in the concern of the well-being of a sentient being, you need to practice enthusiastically, not slowly, not lightly, what do you call we need to practice consistently, seriously, enthusiastically, like that. So like what we always chant during the Guru Puja, all the sufferings. I don't know exactly the wording And the Shantideva's Buddhacharya, Nagarjuna's teachings, all emphasize about the all the sufferings comes from cherishing one's own happiness. All the happiness comes from cherishing the well-being of others. And refer to the example of the difference between Buddha and yourself. Who Buddha he is today is because of cultivation of cherishing of others' well-being, and where we are still suffering in samsara is because of cherishing of our own happiness, isn't it? Like that. So he said these two teachings, the teachings of eradicating self-grasping ignorance and actualizing the altruistic mind of um, the concerning well-being of numberless sentient beings. These two teachings draw the remedy to a close. They are vital if you are to tame the barbaric borderland. They are essential too in the age of degeneration. To bear with misguided way of negative companion. So these two teachings are, very, draw the remedy to, to a close. You see, so by applying correct technique, such as applying right antidote, which is, as mentioned before, emptiness is the right antidote. Then right, causes and conditions like such as 6 causes, like such as 4 trainings to cultivate genuine sense of concerning the well-being of others. So this is vital. So that way, then one can able to bring immense of benefit to yourself and to others. Then verse 9, it says, cast away decisively, let go with the ease, dismantle thoroughly, and let be with the gentleness. These are the 4 aspects of sealing of emptiness. They are vital if you are to tame the barbaric borderland. So there are 4. Cast away decisively. Number 1, let go with ease. Number 2, dismantle thoroughly. Number 3, and let it be with the gentleness. Number 4. So these are the 4 aspects of sealing of emptiness, to making sure that our practice become effective, genuine, true path, and definite going to result the cessations. You see, so like whenever we practice generally, we don't really talk about this 4 sealing of the emptiness. We talk about the 3 sealing of the emptiness whenever we do dedications, isn't it? And we dedicate the emptiness, the dedicate ourselves, the merit, the purpose we dedicate lies in the nature of emptiness. This is how we seal the merit in emptiness, so that the angers and negativities, will not destroy after sealing into it, like that. So now, when we practice the altruistic dharma, this 4 sealing of emptiness is important in order for us to never to fall back into the lower path, never to give up the Bodhisattva's conduct, Bodhisattva's practice, like that. So, like this, the first one, in the commentary, it says, cast away decisively, meaning you should decisively cast away all dualistic thoughts of perceived objects and perceiving cognition. So that's the first one, what it means. So basically is to cast away the dualistic, dualistic mind. The dualistic mind, not only to the object, but also to the subject. Then the second one, let go with ease. So let your mind rest free and radiance in the absence of conceptualization and bondage in the ultimate expenses that is free of conceptual elaborations. So that's what it means. Let go with ease. Then dismantle thoroughly. So do not cast after earlier instant of cognition. Do not anticipate the future, but free of clinging. Let the present remain as it is. So let the present, whether it comes to thought or whether it comes to object, whatever, whether relate to the, whether it comes to thought or whether it comes to a clinging, whether our senses, sensual minds, or the awareness relating to the object, then shouldn't do elaborations, conceptual elaborations. Rather try to let it rest in the present. Present remain. Let the present remain as it is. Means try to let it be in it is absolute being. It is absolute nature. Or in other words, let it be in the absolute nature of the void of conceptual elaborations. So it's talking about that. Yeah. So that is the let it be with gentleness. So these are the four aspects of sealing of emptiness. So we can apply this, four sealing of emptiness whenever the thought arises, or whenever our mind, our main mind or the sensual mind, when come into interaction with its object. We usually, always painted by elaborations, exaggerations. The worst one is elaboration and exaggerations of true existence, inherent existence. Everything is magnified falsely. So when it comes to in relation to anime, we even though the main reason of someone being anime maybe just happen to say one wrong word, but then we have this exaggeration of conceptual false making up. The anime is so bad, how bad. Then when we have arising attachment to something, even though there may be just one factor that may trigger your attachment, but then when you like something, you like elaborate the conceptual false ideas, how good it is, how this and that, etc., etc., etc. So so similar goes to when we go through troubles in our life. Obviously, one small problem comes in our way. Let's say, maybe like kind of like chest pain, and immediately we start to worry intensely, thinking that it could be heart disease. Maybe it could be just because of some kind of muscle pain, but then we freak out from the very beginning, making the conclusion by thinking that it could it could be heart disease, or it could be this disease, it could be incurable disease, etc. Then make it so hard to ourselves, isn't it? So all these are conceptual elaborations. So the way about sealing by emptiness, in particularly the last one, with gentleness, let it be with the gentleness. Means try to breathe slowly, and try to uh, you know uh, focus beyond what you understand now, and what you're able to perceive it. If best is try to go into understanding of its ultimate nature. So that way, then you're able to, uh, protect yourself from a very serious harms, like that. So these are very helpful. Mm. Yeah, so this is a very helpful tool, to secure our virtues, and also to use when we interact with others, when we come to benefit others. Basically all the unnecessary expectations will go away from from us, you will be completely in a genuinely, in really, when we practice truly. When we help others, we will help truly. There's no kind of exaggerated expectations like that. Then also when we dedicate the merit, when we perform any actions, when we motivate, like the three sealing of the emptiness, similar way you can use this four type of sealing of emptiness in a similar content. So it says they are essential to in the age of degeneration to bear with the misguided way of negative companion. If you engage in the practice in this way, being will not be fitter, but will attain freedom. Thus, this was taught. Thank you. So this complete the teaching on living out all conceptions. So rejoice. So what we're going to do, I'm going to jump for next session. I'm going to jump, some pages. We will first do the commentary, the Atisha's commentary on this particular text of Serlingpa. If you want to read before the class, it is on page 293. Page 293, it says, a commentary on living out all conceptions. So there are about 3 pages. So we may do 1 or 2 sessions, or I would just, maybe just 1 session. I would just read it, no need any explanation. So the root text explanation is done today. So maybe I think it is beneficial for us to go through the commentary that done by the Atisha. Okay? Thank you. So see you next session. So we do short dedication. Whatever merit that we accumulate individually, collectively, may it be complete cause for numberless sentient beings to be free from oceans of samsaric suffering and its causes, karma and delusion, and actualize peerless happiness of enlightenment. May this collective merit be complete cause for this pandemic to be overcome, or the cure be most effective. May this merit be complete cause for all the frontliners and carers, to anyone, like nurse, doctors, or even in the family, if someone is unwell and someone is caring for, may they always enjoy good health, long life, prosperity, and have all the conducive conditions so that they can, peacefully, conducively care for, the needy ones. May this merit be a complete cause. All the people who have requested prayers from me, requested prayers from our Guru, and those people, even they didn't request, but that they need your prayer support. So we dedicate our prayers for them to achieve all their wishes accordingly. And in particularly, those who are in trouble with health, businesses, relationship, may our merit be the conducive condition to overcome them. May this collective merit be a complete cause. Anyone who passed away, in particularly in last 49 days, be free from suffering of death, suffering of intermediate state, suffering of rebirth, and actualize higher rebirth in the Pure Land. And there, within that very lifetime, actualize state of full enlightenment accordingly. May this collective merit be a complete cause. All the world leaders, leaders of organizations, leaders of the family, and yourself who lead your life, be free from all the negative emotions and equipped with full of altruistic attitudes like great love, compassion, respect, understanding, etc., and full of wisdom of selfless, wisdom of emptiness, so that anyone under their leadership can able to enjoy only virtues and peace and happiness. May this collective merit be a complete cause. All the beneficial beings to the peace and happiness of the world, like such as His Holiness Dalai Lama, Lama Serlingpa, all your spiritual gurus, and yourself and your family members, always enjoy good health, long life, and fulfill all your aspirations accordingly. May this collective merit be complete cause. All the virtuous institutions like monasteries and nunneries and all the dharma centers and all the FPMD centers in Australia and all the FPMD centers where anyone participating in this Lojong teaching, the centers where you are coming from, because of karmically, interdependently you are here, so therefore it's very effective. Through you, we dedicate collective merit to your center, your study groups, your projects, to overcome all the inner outer secret obstacles and actualize all the conducive conditions to preserve the Dharma most extensive learning, as well as actualizing all the realizations accordingly, and fulfill all our holy Guru's wishes accordingly, up to achieving full enlightenment. May this collective merit be complete cause every one of us able to really practice keeping our heart the what Serlingpa have taught, all those so important points in our life, able to practice just like this lineage gurus, and able to achieve state of full enlightenment for the benefit of numberless sentient beings as soon as possible. Then dedicate in emptiness. We can apply the 4 seals of the Dharma, 4 seals of the emptiness. Or you can interpret that into 3 seals of the emptiness, the dedicate ourselves, the merit, the purpose, all lies in the nature of emptiness. Yeah, so then you dedicate, if you have any individual specific dedications to do, you can dedicate now while I do these prayers. Yavade nyodo da lama sanje dubyone dowaji jamale bade zala goba sho chanjo zemjo remboje maje banam jeje jawanya bame bayang gone gondo bewa jo donye dawa remboje maje banam jeje jawanya bame bayang gone gondo bewa jo remye dawa remboje maje banam jeje jawanya bame bayang gone gondo bewa Karera Vekoya Singa de Benda de Wamali, Jumene Jerez, and what did the Jato Yishabes, the Bado Denju, to Change Jango Jave, the Jumpe Kozo, the Chozo, and the method of Bataso, the Jukundu Shaden Show. Bama Zemjetam Jedenda, the using a Rotam Jetato, Ada Janjus and Bagana, Zujo Bateta, Kunja Mola, to use some Genebachi, when you don't let that you to win and Mother Batato, Juan Mabarisho. Bedanzo Amigo Bejan, no Bazaja Semjera, welcome to the Samba Chechin Drube. 자지 조경화 군도 양다 라마다 담에 주지 빨라 lon주 사달람 지연대라 되는 도제 찬유고 많이 도지 최전람에 고제라 되지 남과 틀에 주주 받아 놓서 때문에 좀 사선 더외면제 다도 이제 유로지 좀 되는데 되지 받아 좀 한다 봐서 배선이 남았나 저기 이제 받아 차서 전서 봐서 뭐 군도 선물을 다해도 미즈리 어부네 어먼들들 자면서 다해도 미즈리 어부네 좀 들들 자면서 다해도 미즈리 어부네 좀 들들 자면서 다해도 미즈리 어부네 좀 들들 자면서 좀 되지 받아 좀 한다 봐서 배선이 미절라 비도 이제 받아 차서 좀 되지 받아 좀 한다 봐서 배선이 뭐하다 뭐라도 지라도 야보라 차세 로샤지 온보 덴바 오바메 반자야 사다제레스 디지고 제데메메 벤데메 몰란데 묘도 좀 메조제제자베 jel랑도 덴데로와메 벤데 만다제 하산도 남다메 벤네게 도제제 담바제 대간도 좀 만다 담바니베 진도상에 덴제 몰로진도 담바 담바 요렌데 베다시니 몬델레 쳔데리니메 고야데레 인제 다도 델레베 꾼조 좀제 다예조. Okay, thank you. Please take good care. Take good care of each other. Bye-bye.